Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Echo. Yeah, that's the game we're playing right now. What's interesting, I think here, we're 2 hours into this game and just now we've started to turn on this palace machine and start lighting it, and we're actually going to have some gameplay mechanic. We have a secondary HUD that's telling us to go very, very far in that general direction. This game has a bit of a feel of another game I covered called Remember Me, where it had some major graphics. It looked really, really good, and it had a female protagonist and slightly mysterious female protagonist. I guess it's true for both of these stories, sort of. Although at this point we've gotten plenty of backstory on our character that we're playing as. They said her name once, but I've forgotten it since then. Doors are now opening.
The suit's been enabled to interface with the palace. Maybe it's Foster trying to help.
Foster was many things, but not a systems physicist.
Why are you still denying that we have a chance? Everything around us is a marvel.
Everything around you is critically unstable. I think the whole place is malfunctioning. You should be getting out of there.
Yeah, I kind of agree. But she has this faith, this belief that this is going to make Foster a person who died and who she converted into this red cube, turn him back into a normal living, breathing human, or humanoid at least. I'm not sure that this was even the promise. The irony in the comparison between this game and Remember Me is Remember Me is a longer game than what this game seems like it's going to be. We're still walking around very repetitive but very pretty stuff. But it had a fight mechanic.
Look, I got a new waypoint, and it's a lot closer.
Nice. Remember Me had a fight mechanic in it that was so we can just now open doors.
Not that way, evidently.
Or some of them. Wow, that's like that movie Cube. The press-in fighting system, which was a kind of combo fighting system that existed in Remember Me, was pretty awful. Like, you could not defeat an enemy or in any way. So most of the doors in this game I think are going to do this. Interesting. You could not defeat enemies without pulling out a combo, at least in for sub-bosses and larger enemies. And it required a lot of very precise button mashing. Not button mashing as much as button presses. Actual successful combos. And it added an incredible amount of frustration to the game because of that. I'm wondering if perhaps... See, here's the secret. Here's another one of these. Yeah, it doesn't seem like there's can be too many more of those. I'm wondering if what happened in quality testing or gameplay, honestly I think they ran out of money, and that this is a game that was supposed to be much, much larger. Like, if this was a Halo style game where there was enemies all over the place and we'd been through many hallways that had enemies to fight, that would have made a lot more sense than what we're seeing here. How electricity is connected in this world seems Seems to be mostly just wireless, magical energy. So perhaps there was a shortening of this game, even shorter than what it could have been, just because of a level of frustration that gets introduced once we actually start doing gameplay mechanics.
Did you see that? It charged my suit.
I don't know what sort of holographic phenomenon that was, but it was extremely compatible with the dual retention system of your suit.
So now I have 2 energy bars, which I think probably means that I only can use... I can use both of them, but I would have to come back to recharge to get 1 extra. And I'll definitely use one to descend. Camera angle kind of locks in. Look, when you push forward a little bit, it kind of locks in so you can see exactly where you're going to land. Now, the question would be, is the second charge going to recharge? And I think the answer to that is no. So, you have this scenario that's not as useful. I am a little afraid to die, considering this game doesn't save that often. It's saved twice in 2 hours of gameplay. I imagine it's probably got some other checkpoints it's running. But yeah, I don't... Yeah, you can walk up to these and these won't hurt you. Alright. Good to know. But also annoying because it's pretty much telling you or trying to teach you that the doors that you see, if they're not lit up like this, are just more...
Power for your suit won't be a problem. The outside of the palace sectors burn red hot, but even inside the walls and floors I read a buildup of gravity charge.
Why would anyone need power on a scale like that?
I hope it's not part of the malfunction. Overcharging would be catastrophic.
Always seeing the bright side.
So you just walk next to it and you don't have to press any button, which is nice. Something at some point will give us more energy, almost certainly. Otherwise it's a very limited system. Although it would be annoying if it was, oh, actually you have to beat the game and every time you beat the game you get 1 more piece of energy. I don't know why you would build a system around like that. That would be annoying. So is this the final strike? No, it still feels like that was supposed to be something. Alright, so this feels like this is just a maze of what I suspect are procedurally generated things. It is, I guess, a little questionable how many rooms you could get into and how many doors would open. Does it really benefit me to try to look at the entirety of this area, or will this just keep on going forever? Yeah, it seems like they're offices that aren't too far off. It seems also odd that you have a close button. I guess perhaps I could be teaching the security AI, which we still haven't seen, how to open doors. And that might be a problem. But I'm also finding collectibles. Yep. Same old, same old. So I don't think at this point we need to delve any deeper as far as doors. If they're dark like this, then we'll just assume that they are these spiked doors. Wasn't expecting that. I was expecting a smaller room first. Again, spike doors. I can make it trigger the sound effect twice if I just tap somewhat softly. Alright.
This is bad, N. The palace system's shut down, but it's still charging. The joule mass is nearing the Dirac child limit.
That felt horrible. I couldn't move.
It was a massive energy discharge. It must have made your suit brace.
The lights have stabilized.
The discharge kicked in system processes planet-wide, but it's producing a lot more energy than needed. Building up charge again.
Okay. So now we're actually in the game, and because I've seen other people play this game, I know what's going to happen. If I do anything other than just walk slowly, the security AI is going to learn from my abilities and copy me. So I have to walk, clearly. If I saw any kind of security collectible, any more voices, it feels like there's really only one more tuning fork. This is clearly some central room where people would get together and communicate. A lot of waiting rooms and a lot of things. Now, I barely tapped a run there, so that may have taught the machines that I can run. And at this point, it's so slow if you really just are going to take it this way. So you still are going to get these spikes on the doors. If it's not glowing, power is fully lit. Look at these reflections. Look at this lighting. All of this could be done by a small company that admittedly was probably spending way too much time in the animation department and not enough in the gameplay design department. And they certainly did a lot of writing and storytelling, at least so far. But this looks really, really good. So, yeah, with modern technology, before ray tracing came out, these things were being done. Often, though, you run into the issue of, do you want the gameplay to run at 60 frames per second? Because I wouldn't be surprised when this came out about a year ago if it was running less than 60 on most people's hardware. Alright, now the light's out, so I should be able to do whatever I want. But it's going to throw a cutscene in.
Another discharge.
There's air now. How is that possible?
I don't know. The chemical composition of the environment was altered in the blink of an eye. That must have been what the energy buildup was for.
So now we are no longer wearing the helmet, which, yeah, 2.5 hours into the game, we've been wearing this helmet for no reason, and we've been wearing this outfit. I think we stopped wearing this outfit after a while too. So I have to descend here. It also seems like we probably are further away from the security system activating than I thought. It seems like we are still in the intro tutorial mode, Remember Me, at the very least, in comparison, got to the action way, way faster. You were fighting, I would say, in less than 15 minutes. And Control, it gets to fighting fairly quickly, like maybe 25 minutes before you get into the first fight in Control. The fighting's not the best in either one of those games, but in comparison to this is basically a walking simulator, and that doesn't mean walking simulators are always bad, but if you were gonna make a walking simulator...
Flowers? They weren't here before the blackout, right?
No, they were not.
I guess it's part of the welcoming package.
So it's weird because this palace is treating you nicely, so where the corruption comes in or where the hostile actions come in is the part I don't understand. Now, it might be that every time we're blacking out, I am changing who I am, and this is an unreliable cinematography. So, like, you don't see it in a lot of movies, but the trick here could be every time it blocks out, I am a different person. I'm a clone of the first person that ended here. 100 years have passed in between each effort. It seems like they're trying the same trick over and over again, which is to get you suited to an area and an atmosphere and then subvert it or change it slightly. Not even really subvert it. I don't even see what's different now.
What's that?
So there's some kind of black goo on the floor, or char mark on the floor. It might be that this character we're playing in is really...
There are more of them.
Really isn't worthy to be in this area, so she is corrupting the world with her presence. But it is really going to full blackouts. So it was going good until we started seeing black spots. Now...
Everything is so neat. Weird how it scatters these chunks all over.
Like, it's not just a copy and paste function, I wouldn't say, because I doubt there was a flower that then the palace created copies of more flowers because of that. It's so late in the game to introduce this. It feels like this should have been some kind of animated movie, but frankly that wouldn't have really made back their money.
What? This one moves.
Worse, it's alive. The sphere appears when humans or animals are detected in close proximity, but this...
So this heads-up display is still really bad. And I can't stand on it or walk over that specific one. Like, a lot of walking going on here. A lot of unnecessary walking. Even by standards of a walking simulator, it's a lot of unnecessary walking. We're getting a squishy, gooey sound. Now that time I fell and it didn't use any energy, so now I don't understand how the system works. Do I get do I take damage when I descend or not? Has this facility somehow changed and now the floors are softer? Or did I just jump down a insignificantly short gap? The thing this really isn't teaching me though is that when it goes dark I should run, and that's the main gameplay mechanic that I think is supposed to be, you're supposed to learn and play with. So yeah, it seems like
What are they?
it's trying to make humanoids.
Can't be Foster, right? I mean, the palace did try to read the cube and then malfunction. This can't be the palace attempting to bring him back, right?
It might be.
No matter the intent, that's not Foster. It's not sentient.
How you scan for sentience would be an interesting philosophical debate. Particularly instantaneously scanning for sentience. It could be that the palace is bringing back all the other resourcefuls. That the grandfather killed or turned into cubes. That would have been hundreds. The main character said he had done it to hundreds of resourcefuls, so hundreds of these kind of makes sense. I don't think the black goo disappears when it goes dark.
What does that mean? I get color now.
The suit senses a threat. Yellow means that you might be noticed. Red means you're targeted.
Nothing showed up. Heads up display, advanced use. So the HUD sphere, like, I didn't see any of that. Okay. So, rather humanoid functions. And I see how the sphere could be useful. Seems like they intentionally wanted me to get targeted there. Yeah, they definitely see you. It's not a case of that they have to be in a certain distance to see you. They totally see you, like a normal human would see a normal human being, unlike video game view cones of view, which are extremely limited. So I'll actually close the door, and that'll save me perhaps some frustration, although that might also be, if we actually do have to run backwards, that would be a nightmare. I don't know how I could run backwards though, because the game in itself has had me jump down many locations. So yeah, if I was jumping down many locations, I would need some double jump or climbing ability that we don't have.
They'll be walking soon. Are you still sure this is a good idea?
Well, I would say no, this is not a good idea. And frankly, I'm glad I have this on easy, because with the amount of room they're giving me, it doesn't seem like...
I don't know what's most absurd. The palace populating itself with these grotesque hostiles, or you charging on like you'll be able to survive when they're fully evolved.
I never expected this to be easy.
Now, from what I've seen, they grab you, and that's it. That's game over. So they seem to kind of just fall over right now, but we've only got a couple more of these evolutions before they can actually harm me. Assuming that's what they're trying to do, which one has to assume hostile intent. Right, so did that take an energy? Yes, it did. So 2 floors links, or 1 large floor links, does require energy, but a half floor length doesn't. But honestly, all this is teaching me is that there is a semi-regular break in the time frame where the lights will go off and come back on, and these guys are getting smarter and smarter, and they're looking more and more like me. At this point, I think that's
What is this?
That's you, Hen.
no big surprise there.
Why would it build copies of me?
So tap B to break free.
It jumped me.
The red spikes suggest that you won't survive another encounter like that.
I don't get it. Why would the palace copy and then attack the first human to arrive? It makes no sense.
The constant crashing indicates deep corruption. Those creatures must be part of that malfunction.
So basically there's a virus. Let's see, what does this say? Hurt. Getting hurt triggers the suit's restorative support system. This shows in the HUD as a pulsating red sphere. While the sphere is visible, that means you're in critical state, and any further injury will result in death. So not really much of a game mechanic here. No punching and kicking to defend yourself. It's just gonna be stealth these characters and avoid them as much as possible. And honestly, if I was to respond in violence, which I assume what they're doing right now is violence, the game, it's hurting me according to the suit, which maybe the suit and the ship AI is an unreliable narrator. There we go. So that looks like we got everything there. So honestly, you couldn't and shouldn't have had us do all of this. There could have just been security cameras at the beginning of the game and doors that would lock you out if they saw you. I mean, that would have worked too. And see if these guys just learn from me that they can crawl. Alright, pushing. Tap B. Cost stamina. Alright. Alright, so there's the act of violence. Which I didn't really need to push all of them. So they started it, by the way. There's enough energy here. My gun still isn't unlocked. So...
I'm bringing the gun online. Each shot will kill as many as you can line up.
So now we could line up people and see if we can kill a bunch. Let's see. Meanwhile, we can come over here, get more energy. I don't even think I need to get headshots for this, but I've definitely raised the stakes.
I'm out.
There's plenty of energy around you.
Come on. It doesn't seem like the bullets are going through these guys or girls. So each shot does not seem to kill as many as I can line up. So the game seems to be being dishonest here. Here we have another door with a pattern of 6 and keys. And yeah, do we want to go 30 more minutes at this point? I guess we are. We might as well just stick with hour-long episodes. The vanishing of Ethan Carter was a walking simulator I covered, and I think it takes the concepts of walking simulators way better than what this would be if you were to call this a walking simulator. Maybe that's not the right thing to call it.
They're getting up.
It does seem like it kind of goes through one body sometimes. Maybe I'm just a bad shot.
You said the gun was lethal.
It is.
So, the palace resurrected them.
Who knows what this death trap is capable of? My guess is things will only get worse.
You really need to work on your motivational skills.
No, she has this key just hanging on her side, very video gamey, whereas the gun is also hovering, but it, at least from a distance, looks like it might have been magnetized. Also, I guess the cube is hovering too, so everything just hovers off of the suit. We'll just call that future technology slash magic. The energy seems to recharge when there was a reset also. Felt like the entire platform went down there. I guess it did. See, because we kind of need to lock in the gameplay, and I think we will get less walk and talks going forward. Is this really going to be the last one? Either I've hit so many that I've gotten the number I needed, and then maybe it will be some kind of upgrade that unlocks later, or there's just a bunch of extra ones of those. That was a weird sound effect and slight hitch. Yeah, and we still really aren't into the gameplay mechanic. What does this say? It says, what does this say? Take down. Position bind an enemy, hold B for lethal takedown. This is not completely silent and will alert other enemies in close proximity. Alright. So the game wants me to learn the next gameplay mechanic. Lethal takedown. 2.5 hours into the game. This is stuff that could have been... Wow, that was glitchy. I don't know if that was supposed to be or that way or what. Maybe I'm running it at a higher resolution than they recognize. Could be that these are me, by the way. If you see copies of yourself walking around, it's worth at least asking the question, maybe I'm a clone too. Maybe this is just a computer program running different iterations of the same program over and over again. That was the slight spoiler for the Talos Principle, which the Talos Principle was a great puzzle game. Frankly, I could use some of those kinds of puzzles.
They're everywhere.
So yellow means you're at risk of being seen?
I can't see anything.
Use your area scan.
What is this, lift bump? And it is so abrupt how it jumps. And they're gonna start doing these. They're gonna start doing this rising animation going forward. Let's see, shouting, tap Y to alert enemies. Why would I want to do that? Like, there's enemies all over the place. Why would I want to do that?
Hey!
Alright, so this is a problem, and really is only going to get resolved by getting out of such a tight area. Like, this is more people than there really should have been in the game in that area, and I think that we'll see in the other section.
They're getting faster after each blackout. If they swarm you, use the gun's riot function. It's not lethal like the main driver, but it will knock down everyone in close proximity.
So that's left trigger and right bump. Thanks for telling me about that up until this point. So, what is that really gonna do? Let's see, we'll try this. Nothing. It's no good. Can I... All of a sudden I've got a function that lets me scan these guys and lock them in. That's nice. But it doesn't seem like I have a... Doesn't seem like I have a use for that right now. Painting something as a target's cool thought, but I need some kind of ability. Yeah, there really is a problem with it, just how opulent this whole palace area looks now that we're into just gameplay. We've got a major area that I cannot jump down, several floors. We've got people all over the place. Energy all over the place. The map wants me to go, I'm not even sure, in that general direction over there. It seems like when you target somebody, they are going to start running towards you. Yeah, I just don't know about these tuning forks anymore. It seems like I've just collected everything that needed to be collected. There's a whole bunch over that direction, but nobody this way. But this stopped. And I think the game is kind of messing with me a bit. They don't want me to be able to know what's going to happen next in the next section. I might be going the wrong way. Just a little bit. But I don't think it really matters too much. Okay, I'm thinking what this boils down to is I've got to get it in the square section. If I don't have them locked in and hitting them, shooting them in the square section, then it doesn't count as a lethal shot. So up until this point, there could have been cameras that you had to stealth around that would have accounted for. I still can't jump down this direction. That could have easily accounted for the first part, just working around a scary automated security system. At some point our gun could have unlocked, and when we unlocked the gun, then we could have we could have had the gun shoot the security cameras, and then that would have been a good and fine justification to work up to an enemy in the same style as what we're fighting. I don't have time to mess around with scanning things. Scanning is actually rather fast. The problem is energy, and they are just getting faster and faster. So either my charging needs to get increased, or I'm gonna run into problems. It maybe charges faster when you don't have your gun out. That might be part of the thing. Maybe this increases your accuracy some. Yeah, it does charge faster when you don't have your gun out. But as I was taking aim there, I also nearly died. Is there anything? Let's see. Alright, well, forget that.
I have no idea.
So we're still...
It's creating weird imprints of me. How strange.
Strange is the norm in this place.
Yeah, when it rings, it seems to be copying me. So yeah. Now when it does that, tells me that the game itself has just learned that ability. And yeah, make 2 hours 45 minutes in. We're now in the actual gameplay. It's been a long journey of just getting to this point. And this just glows.
What's that?
Always. Interact with it. Let's see what it does.
The matter is strengthening your suit's ability to retain energy from your surroundings.
Nice. So that's called a cell crystal. And that increases our cells. Right. Or maybe we need 5 of them to increase our energy. It's gonna be very hard to justify playing the game this way and trying to find all those cell crystals though. Oh, there's another bit of lag. Yep. Clearly there's some problems with this game as far as QA. The fact that you buy it on Steam and by default it doesn't even install correctly is a problem. But yeah, this is running pretty well. Not amazingly well.
You won't make it.
It feels like this damn suit is slowing me down.
You're just out of stasis. It's protecting you.
I don't want that.
If you insist, it'll be painful and your range limited.
Sprinting, hold A. Okay. So let's climb up here and see, it just learned how to climb. And we'll run holding A. It seems like they are going to... They very possibly just learned how to run, which is the last thing you need these characters to do, because they're already moving fast enough to cause you considerable trouble.
What's this now?
It activated a new interface. I wonder what it's monitoring.
Was that a stamina bar? We're getting a lot of UI here. See, this feels like a lot like a Dead Space experimental stamina bar, but not really something that I would have put in a final product.
It's counting down. But to what?
So there's keys, it seems. Seems like things are finding me and chasing me. And let's see. How many of these do I think I need? Do I need to get them all? These guys still attacked during those points.
I bet the pavilion will open when I've collected enough orbs.
So it's becoming almost like a Pac-Man thing. But it does seem like I'm abruptly resetting things. Let's go ahead and descend down here. These won't open yet.
Only 4 more to go.
So the whole HUD UI is kind of fall apart as being useful if you want to try to play this game with any amount of speed, and like almost certainly the game is learning faster than my running ability is going to improve. Yeah, I don't think that there's a pacifist run in this. I can try this for this one room, and it does seem like the rooms in particular are designed to be see, she's rising up as much as any of the other characters are rising up, which does just imply that there really isn't any difference between me and the people trying to capture me.
Only one left.
And this really is just a QTE event. There you go. You got like 2 of them on me at the same time. And I guess this is safe. I guess this is safe. As some kind of elevator.
Look, it's decrypting the voices.
Finally. Ripped from flesh, tendrils inmish, not but a seed of fate, from the void of spraying, re-emerged again, begging the gate, draped in the spell of fragile shell of rotten slow decay, fight with despair, concord prepare, the eternity must pay, first voice of eternity. Barely had enough time to read that. And honestly, I think that's the end of Act.
Slowing. You've traveled 55 kilometers.
Yeah, there's no way you're getting up higher, back to where you came from. Alright. And this is just the perfect point to go with. We're getting little bits more of information. But we are in a weird position, certainly, because we don't seem to, like, I really don't like this heads-up display, which is not a heads-up display. It's encircling the main character. It's distracting, and it's frankly not helping in the current level of gameplay that I'm playing on, and I'm playing on the easiest settings, so I couldn't imagine. My guess was that there would be a hardcore mode at some point. I couldn't really imagine going through that. That seems insane. Yeah, we're on easy with normal game mode. If the normal game mode turned into hardcore and you could not die at all, that would just be ridiculous. And if you were playing this on very hard, that would probably be pretty ridiculous too. Although maybe it's not that different. Maybe the game only gives you a little bit less time to recover, or on very hard, or maybe a little less energy. Anyways, that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend to follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. And if you want to support me even further, there's a link to Patreon, or you can friend me on Steam and gift me a game off my wishlist. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.